If you know me personally, you know that sometimes I can run away with my thoughts and babble a bit. So I just thought, instead of kind of word vomiting, I'd just put a few notes down just to try and keep me on track. And I just wanted to share a few thoughts that is going around in my head, and I feel like I'm really dialoguing with God about at the moment. And the verse that they kind of stem from is Hebrews 12. So I'm just going to read that to you now, if that's okay. It says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and the perfecter of faith. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinners, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart." This part of the Bible, and so much of the Bible, talks about a few things. Talks about keeping our eyes fixed on Jesus. It says, look at him. He's run this race. He's done life. He's done it. He's got the t-shirt. And he can walk with us, and he can help us, and he can do it with us if we let him. So that's one thing. The second thought, I guess, is that can you feel the momentum shift? Can you feel the shift at the moment in church, in society, in the world? There's been a shift. There's been a momentum building. And I looked up what momentum meant, and because it really kept coming into my head. And momentum means mass in motion. It got me thinking, could we say that we are in motion? Me, you, Ashbourne Elim Church, are we in motion? Are we moving? Are we going forward? And are we running this race set out for us? Because at no point does it say it's a spectator's race, that we can just sit back and watch others do it. Now, I know I'm speeding through these, but that's just how my mind works. It just kind of shocks all over the place, and it looks a bit of a mess, really. But another thought that I had is that this passage, it highlights endurance. Now, let me not pretend to you I don't run, can't and won't run, and so I can't really relate to the running the race idea of things. But I used to hike. I used to love hiking, and I used to do it in competitions, and it was something that I did for many years, and I really enjoyed it. And one thing that was really important, and a quality that was really important in those hikes, was endurance. Keeping going, keeping our eyes fixed on the prize, or just the finish line. If we didn't think we were going to win, just the finish line would do. Persevering through those stretches, the moments when we got utterly lost and we didn't know where we were going, and the moments where we didn't want to finish, we didn't want to do it. It was too hard. And I'm sure you can see the parallels in life to that as well. This passage talks about things that entangle us, sin that entangles us, and at the moment I find myself so easily entangled. And I talk to friends and family that are struggling with things. At the moment, it might not be the sins that we automatically would go to and think about. Actually, it might be comparing ourselves, maybe judging others, and just generally, I guess, self-doubt, negative thoughts. They're bound to come in this season that we're living in. They're bound to come, but they're definitely they're not something that spurs us on, but actually they can distract us from the goal, from the race that we're on. And that's not what God intends. And it's said here that fixing our eyes on Jesus is the best way to do that, not to be entangled by everything else going on, but to focus, to fix our eyes on him. And here's my final thought. When the distractions come, and when we struggle and when we're going through that day where actually we've got far too many blisters on our feet, there is a community, there is family that can get us through it. That is church. We are meant to be in community. We were made to be in community. We were there to spur each other on. We are called to encourage one another, to build one another, to sharpen the irons of one another. So as I bring this to a close, I just wrap it up in 3 challenges to you and to me. The first one is to fix our eyes on Jesus. Look at him as our example of how to run this race, and also to fix our eyes because he is the one that we are running towards. The second one is keep running, keep going, keep moving. You know, momentum slows and it goes. And actually, if you're slowing down, that's okay, but keep moving into what God wants. And I pray your distractions, my distractions, I pray they will not keep us from running for God, for running the purpose and the plans that he has for us. And the final one is, let us not do this alone. We were never made to be alone. We were always made to be in community. God is a God of unity. He's not a God of barriers. And if you're struggling, and I pray that when I struggle, we can turn to one another. We don't have to be alone. We have a community that can keep us running, that can bandage up our wounds and put those blister plasters on. That's it really. They're my thoughts, and I hope you've enjoyed your cup of tea, and I hope they bless you. So I'll end it with Adam's favourite phrase to say on a Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. Are you ready yet? Come on, let's go.